What negative quality do you actually find attractive? Someone who's a little bit catty. My wife will gladly give someone shit when I'm too much of a nice dude to care. Once she pipes up, I realize that a part of me cared after all. My husband doesn't have the best memory when it comes to small things. Especially what food is in our house. He often buys something or is gifted something and forgets about it and then gets super excited when he remembered he has it or finds it randomly. It's super cute and I love how excited he gets about little things. It also brings me joy when I can tell he forgot about something and I get to remind him because I know he about to be really happy. Clinginess over affectionate. Duck, I'm fine with cuddling all day or holding your hand everywhere or being all cutesy and cheat. Probably cause I had a cat growing up, IDK. There it is. Yeah, I like clingy girls. Probably because I grew up mostly a loner and very introverted, so having a girl who is stage 5 clinger is actually great for me. Being reasonably nitpicking. If you can analyze the situation and point out the flaws and are willing to have a conversation about that. That is my button to press. So you're the child my father wanted. I like someone to have a decent nose on them. The kind of nose where people comment on it behind their back. That's an interesting face that I often find attractive. I used to say I respected people who spoke their mind. Then I began to notice that there are so many people out there that just need to keep their mouths shut. So, I like quiet people who just work hard and say hello and goodbye. I find traditionally weird annoying laughs cute. I briefly dated a girl who would shout HA. And then snort when she laughed and it drove me ducking wild for some reason. Awkwardness. I find it kind of endearing and usually the more awkward they are the less judgmental they are and it just makes it more comfortable to be around them. Where have you been all my life? Honesty. I spent a few weeks in Russia. And it was so refreshing. Someone thought my hat was stupid. And another thought my opinions of soccer were all wrong. They say what they think like they are talking about the weather. It feels so good to be around people that say what they think to me instead of behind my back. People who are quiet and unassuming. Until someone says or does something out of line. When they turn into a no bullshit verbal battering ram after that. I love that sheet. Taking advantage of situations in the name of efficiency. I love it when a woman shouts and curses at me. Preferably in another language. You should marry a Mexican mom. They don't hold back. Gray hair. I feel like it gets a bad rep where I've had people telling me they would cry if they got gray hair. I personally quite like it, so such a strong reaction confuses me. My hair started graying last year. I was excited to rock the salt and pepper look in the upcoming years. Glasses. Person can't see proper. But glasses are super cute. Oh my god, my partner is so hot with glasses on. Being opinionated. It's such a negative now because of people who are like your opinion is wrong because you don't agree with me. But I love talking or debating about people's opinions because it can open yours or someone else's mind. Clumsiness, awkwardness. When someone is still finding themselves. A lot of people regard it as a bad thing, but I view it as a possible sign that that person has a growth mindset. And therefore I have a chance to grow together with that person and form a strong relationship in the future. Also titties. I've been in Asia for 15 years now. Basically everything the locals find unattractive. I really like. Dark skin is probably the most common one. All across Asia. They like to be pale. I used to have girls tell me how jealous they were of my light skin. But back home, I was considered pasty and gross. So it's nice for me. But it's funny when locals try to point out someone to me by their features. Yeah, he's the dark one over there, guys. I'm white. I don't know which one of you is the dark one. Dart. American. Lived in India for 3 years. Saw this a lot. I had a particularly dark friend who was very handsome. I pointed out a girl to him and he said no. I don't want black children. I just looked at him. I had to think to myself. Well, you better not have any then. Nerds. I ducking love it when people are total nerds about some obscure interest. I don't care if it's trains, or snails, or chopsticks. I love passion for knowledge and I could learn so much from you. Also, class clown types. So long as they're not idiotic about it. People with a dark or morbid sense of humor. The day my grandpa passed, I was on the drive home with my boyfriend and I said something like, "Sorry you had to stay out so late. I know it'll be hard to get up for work in the morning." His reply was, "It's okay. I'll live." When he realized what he said, the look on his face was that of pure mortification. I thought it was hysterical. Short man. I'm 5 feet 8 inches and love being the taller one. It gives me so much confidence. Especially in heels. As a 5 feet 6 inches man, I think you're cool. It's a shame that being short is a negative quality these days, as it doesn't really affect a person's personality. Well, unless they have a Napoleon complex. Girls with raspy voices that crack occasionally. Old ladies that smoked in bowling alley for 80 years. Men who are very open about their emotions and can cry in front of other people. A lot of people view that as a negative thing. They might want a tough guy who hides that stuff. I find it super attractive and love when men are honest about how they are really doing. My husband is talkative as duck. It's annoying at times. But overall it's a more endearing trait. I also don't mean like a chatterbox talkative. It's just like dating a professor who wants to explain everything from the top very clearly. So that means giving a ton of background to even mundane stories. But he normally makes it interesting. He's like Wikipedia word vomiting at me. I like women that feel inaccessible to me. So all women? I kinda like a bit of trashiness. I like them a little wild. Slightly trashy girls are usually pretty confident and down for almost anything. I like that. Yeah, I'm with you. They're not as likely to judge you for liking a weird thing either. But it's difficult to find the right level of trashiness. Chubby bellies. A guy with a cute face and a chubby belly does things to me. I am a positively charged electron, so I like it when another electron has a negative quality. Unless he's an asshole. Being a homebody. The ability to just enjoy one another's company without always needing to go somewhere for it to count as being fun. Can't overdo it though. None of this locked in the mansion for 3 years straight binge watching all your favorite shows, on second thought. I like a girl with a backbone who isn't afraid to take the piss out of me. Banter if you will. I always think Meg. Sorry. Mila Kunis and Ted is a perfect example of this. I have great dance moves. Yeah. So do people with Parkinson's. Just give me some shit now and then. Get us play fighting. Ugh, I love it. Call me on my sheet sometimes. Don't just agree with everything. Say I'm talking crap. Prove it if you can, etc. A neediness insecurity about herself. Not to an extreme. I don't want someone who desperately needs contact and refuses to believe I like them. But a bit of nervousness. Wanting to talk to me a lot. Occasionally worrying about how I perceive them. I find endearing. It's probably not a great thing to look for in a partner. But as someone who has suffered a lot from low self-esteem and anxiety, I can kinda relate. I enjoy being someone that they can build that self-esteem around. However, the 2 long-term girlfriends I've had both started as very insecure, needy and clingy. Over the course of the relationship, became super self-confident, sexy, outgoing people and then left me. So maybe I'm ducking shit up for myself. I like guys that are quiet, shy around people they don't know or don't know well. And then warm up to you. Guys, or people in general, who are really loud and extroverted really get on my nerves. I am definitely guilty of being a guy that has to warm up to people, and I hate when people point it out, lol. Like, oh, guess who got the confidence to start making jokes? Shit gets me low-key triggered, haha. Reading through the comments I was like, wow, I have a lot of negative qualities that people actually like, but I made me realize I just have a lot of bad qualities, haha. Honestly, I like a little bit of body fat. Like there are just some nice perks that come with a little bit more. Like typically a more rounded face. Little bit easier to cuddle, skinny girls can be uncomfortably bony sometimes. And typically a little bit of a bigger chest. It's a little odd. But I think there's a happy medium somewhere. A degree of awkwardness. Vulnerable and shyness. I just love seeing girls like this. As they are what they are. I as a guy was all of that and know how hard it is, so actually be yourself with traits like this. So seeing a girl with these traits shows they are internally very strong and can get better with time equals. When I got divorced, I told my mother that if I was going to date seriously again, it would only be with someone else who got divorced. I feel like once you've had a divorce, there's a certain growth and maturity you go through. It changed my perspective and outlook on so many aspects of life. And I felt like a stronger individual knowing that even though I had tried to give someone my all, he didn't respect it. And I had kept going without caving into social pressure to stay married despite being unhappy. A woman who can sweat. I had a friend that was so gorgeous. As a group we would go out on weekends to drink and dance. 10 minutes in and she was pouring sweat. Hair soaking. Chest wet. And later on even armpits. The guys would stop dancing with her and she eventually would slow down her dancing. I was like, that is ducking hot. Most of my friends were grossed out and I couldn't understand. People who desire solitude and not needing much attention at all. Think total opposite of clingy. I definitely like a person who is so totally independent that they don't need another person. That means to have you in their life is by choice. I sum that up to wanting a person